How's it going, you guys? Kyle here with another tutorial for you guys this week on something that I don't know what it's called in your areas. Here we call it a handstand bailout. Some people call it a monkey down, some people call it a handstand monkey out. There's a bunch of different names for it, but all in all, it's basically a handstand on the edge, and you kind of monkey or Kong out of it to your feet down a decent sized drop. It's a lot of fun if you're okay with heights and stuff like that, but I'm gonna give you some drills to do to work your way up to it, up high areas, and then hopefully you guys will really get down like that. It's pretty simple as far as getting it down mastered, but learning it may be the hardest part, like over the whole fear thing, but I'll give you guys some tips and progressions so you guys can conquer those fears step by step, and then we'll go through breaking it down. So real quick, let me demonstrate. Like I said before, so it's in a handstand at the edge. And you come down into a landing. You can land in a safety tap, you can land in a roll, depends on your preference. Find out what works best for you. Before we go back to the high spot, I'm gonna give you guys some tips on the ground so you guys get a better understanding as to how the movement works, so you don't just go straight into handstands off ledges and then drop down and kill yourselves. Okay, so for the drill, what we're gonna do is kind of something that I do in my classes. It's like a little monkey drill where you start in a little squat and you keep your heels off the ground. The only thing that touches the ground is the balls of your feet and your hands. You place your hands decently a good distance out far, and you're gonna jump off of your feet, pull your hands to bring your feet past where your hands are, like so. And that whole drill is gonna help you get a better understanding as to how this movement works. Now granted, you're in a handstand, you're not in a crouch, so you actually have to let your legs go past your head, let your feet go over your head, and then counteract that with your body. So here's your head, your hands, and your feet are up here in a handstand. You gotta let your feet kind of inch over a little bit to where you start to lose balance, and then you push off your hands and go into a tuck to come down on your feet. It's a really awkward movement, but if you can figure it out and learn it, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So what I got here is this little guy. It's gonna help me demonstrate better as to how you guys can do this. Now, before you go to something like that, if you're not sure, just do a handstand and pop off your hands and bring your feet to where your hands are. So you can work on that whole aim. So you go, oh God, go yourself into a handstand, pop up, bring your feet down like that. That whole motion is basically what you do off a takeoff. So if you get that down, it's gonna help. Get a decent handstand down, because that's gonna help a lot. You don't have to be like live wire with your handstands, but drilling your handstands is gonna help a lot. I'm not the kind of person who drills in my handstands, so obviously my handstands in this video are gonna suck really bad. So after you have this part down, here, handstand, boom, then work on bringing your feet past where your hands are. And you can do this drill little by little, and figure out a way, not just so you can get your feet to the ground, but really focus on the detail of controlling your body. So think about, all right, my hands are right here, I want my feet to go right here. I want my feet to go right there. Pick a spot on the ground. You gotta be able to control that you want your feet to go right there. Now off a ledge is gonna be easier because you're going down a drop, so you can control that much easier. So when you move to stuff like this, you have the exact same concept. So you go into a handstand on the edge, here, go. You lose your balance a little bit more, tip, and bring your feet down. Now, I do warn you guys that while learning this movement or practicing it, you may fall on your face a couple times. So make sure you have your roll down, or make sure you're just okay with landing like this, because you might do that quite a bit. But that comes with the package. Sometimes it's good to fall, because then you learn how to fall, and then you can fall safely. If you ever fall like that next time, and you'll be like, hey, I know how to fall on my face. So, with that being said, take your handstand on the ground, practice here first, master this whole motion of getting your feet to the ground and popping your hands off, then take it to a ledge like this and practice here. So here, handstand, go to the edge, let your body tip a little bit, push off your hands and bring your feet to the ground. Now scare you off something like that as opposed to the big boys. Remember, on the bigger guys, the bigger drops, you're gonna be able to go a little bit slower with your movement, so you have more chance to kind of relax and breathe. Always breathe. Never forget to breathe. Okay, now, understanding how those two movements work, you basically take it to this guy. If you're practicing, you can practice with a soft landing. If you want to, you can practice with, in the gym, get an 8-inch crash pad and put it down there so you can work some safety. You can do it into the foam pits. Find out which way works for you. Don't just do it. Never just throw your body and expect to land on your feet. You have to focus on controlling your body, because when you can control it, that's when the real magic happens. You can start getting creative with it and adding twists and kicks and other fancy stuff that's unique in its own self to you. So keep that in mind. So if you're a little scared when you're going for your first drop, you can kind of do a mini Kong like a little handstand really fast and calm, kind of like a calm, but you bring your feet really high, and then just kind of calm over the ledge. And you can work on that to focus on, you know, getting used to planting your hands on the edge, pulling your hands, bringing your feet past your, you know, your hands, and then landing on your feet in the ground, deciding whether or not you need to land or roll on that type of surface, whatever it may be. And you can just progress that way to get rid of that fear, to get used to the movement, and then get your body comfortable with that motion. And then you can work on the actual handstand. Now when you land, you don't have to land hard, and you don't have to land necessarily soft. Of course, the softer the better, but focus on landing while bending your knees at the exact same time. That way you absorb the impact. So don't land like that, because that sends a shot from your heel up through your body. So try to land with your heels up, not up like high heels up. Just try to keep them off of the ground. And then don't focus on landing your toes too high, because then you can roll your ankle and split to the side. Make sure you're kind of landing more or less straight, toes pointed forward, and bend your knees with the landing. That's where the safety tap comes in handy. So if you're not sure if you can support that kind of weight from that kind of drop height, then go down, plant your hands. The way a cat does when they get really low. Same thing with people, just land, cushion your fall, and then walk on off if you need to. But that landing is going to be important. Don't land hard. Breathe, bend your knees, and cushion. When you're doing this trick, feel it. Don't just do it a couple times. Focus on your body posture. When you're doing your handstand motion and you're going into that calm, focus on where your hips are and where your chest is. Focus on whether your back's arched or if it's straight or if it's hollowed. Find out which way works best for you. Sometimes people start off hollowed, and as their body tips over, their back becomes more arched because their feet are going past their head, and then they hollow back out to get their legs through. So there's a lot of different, you know, body positioning and stuff that goes on in that. So try and feel that. Don't just do it a couple times. Pay attention to what your body is doing, and you'll learn a lot more about not just this movement, but all the movements in general when you actually pay attention to how you're feeling, how your body is responding to certain movements. And then overall, you'll gain more comfort when it comes to learning new techniques similar to that one, or just a new one totally in general. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, you guys. My name's Kyle, Epic Mendoza. This is a tutorial for the handstand bailout, handstand monkey down. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. It's just movement. So with that, enjoy, go practice. It's a good conditioning for your knees. So if you like conditioning, this is a really great knee workout. So if you have knee problems, I recommend this one, and it'll help you learn it'll help you work on your landings, and it'll help you work on your overall handstand control. So with that, take great care, you guys, and stay positive.
Damn it!